Hello and welcome to Vegan Cooking with Oi Oi Soyboy with me, Oi Oi Soyboy, also called Callum. On today's episode, we're going to be making vegan hot cross buns. It's an Easter special. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but every Easter we eat hot cross buns in honor of Jesus Christ who died doing motocross. Um, so, with that being said, let's get cooking. Alright, so you're going to want about 300 milliliters of oat milk. Just get you started. So pour it on in there, measure it all accurate, and then you're going to stick it in a small saucepan. Great, good pouring. Then you're going to need yourself some kind of vegan butter spread. I used about 70 grams, which is more or less one large tablespoon, big heap of tablespoon. Put the milk on a low heat and then stir it until it's all melted. Now that the butter's not solid anymore and it's simmered, take it off the hob. Then grab yourself some scales and a mixing bowl, and you're going to throw in your strong flour, strong white bread flour. I think you need about 500 grams of this, and then you're going to need some sugar with I use about 60 grams. You can use anything from 60 to 70, but I prefer 60 because I don't want it overly sweet. Then you're going to need a pinch of sea salt, and you're going to need some mixed spice powder. I used about two heaped spoons and then one heaped spoon of cinnamon. I know it's bad to say because people get angry, but I don't like cinnamon very much, so I don't put as much in. But you could, if you did equal parts cinnamon and the mixed spice, it'd probably be fine. Then you're going to make a little well of the mixed dry ingredients, and you're going to pour in the liquid. Fantastic. Give that a stir. Oh, this is a good point now. Maybe try use a heavy bottom bowl, because, yeah, no luck, I'm afraid. Right, now it's sort of mixed. I'm just going to move to my hands. The spoon ain't working, and you're going to just mash it all together until it's all good and crumbly. I forgot the yeast. Grab yourself some yeast and add 7 grams of that. Okay, now we're going to have to remix it. You should have put the yeast in with the dry ingredients before adding the liquid. It should be all fine though, so make sure just to put some flour on a nice clean surface, and then we're going to knead our mix. You're going to want to do this for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, however long you want. You want it to get a little bit elasticy and stretch it on out like this. Stretch it all long and ugly like this, ugly boy. Then you're going to put it in a ball, and you're going to roll it and then sort of knead it and smack it about. Get it a ball. Then you're going to get some oil and put it in a mixing bowl. Ideally a clean one, but what am I, the Queen of England? I ain't going to clean a bowl before I'm going to use it and make it dirty again. Then you're going to cover it with a tea towel or some cling film and put it somewhere warm. As it's a lovely day out, I'm just leaving it in the kitchen rather than putting it anywhere else. Well, let's go see what Maisie's up to. Y'all ain't seen her for a few months, so we're going up into what we call the attic, and she's probably going to be up here somewhere. Wow, look at this lovely day. Oh, there she is. It's little Maisie sleeping like she liked to sleep. So you're going to want to give her a little scritch and scritch her cheeks. She likes scritching on both cheeks. This is the dunk she lives with. It's a dunk like one of them birds. Well, we got a beer barrel here, so maybe in the summer we'll make some beer. There's some art there, I think. I think that's a pasta maker. Oh, that's my lunchbox. So yeah, there's a lot of junk in here, you're right. That's some flowers, which is dead. But mainly this is Maisie's sleeping and living area. So she sleep up here all day in the sunshine, and she real lazy, and you put your hand on her chest and she'll roll over and be like, yeah, scritch my chest and my chin, please. And then you do that lots and just keep on scritching. Yeah, she missed all the attention, if I'm honest, from not being on the TV since sort of December. But we'll give it back to her. She likes it, a scritch on the head. And then we give a scritch to the duck and go back to our food. It's been about an hour now, so it's rising good. You're going to grab yourself a orange, and then you're going to need to grate it. As you can see, I found it damn near impossible to grate an orange with one hand, so I gave up and just did it off camera. Now I got all the zest off, and I'm going to check. Oh, look, my dough's doubled in size. And then we'll get some flour, and we're going to get that hunky boy out the bowl. So you're going to want to grab him out. Sort of flat him into a bit of a wider disc and put some little dimples in him. Then grab your orange zest, your fresh orange zest, and gently caress it into the holes and the dough. And then you're going to need to do this trick if you want. So you don't have to, but it's kind of fun. So I get a knife and I cut a little edge of orange peel off. And then you're going to want to hold it sort of inward convexed. Grab a lighter, heat the skin very briefly, and then squeeze. And you see that little flame shot out. So what you're doing is you're actually shooting sort of burnt orange essence over it to give it a bit of flavor. Then I'm going to grab my mixed sultanas. I think I've got probably about 70 grams of sultanas here. And then you're going to mix it into the dough and get it all evenly dispersed. Back in the bowl, cover with the thing, and then you're done. In the meantime, you'll be getting pretty hungry. So you're going to grab some of this coffee and walnut cake. And then you're going to grab it, and then it's going to fall apart in your hand. And you're just going to shove it in your mouth in a whole bit. Mmm, delicious. That's really good lunch. Oh wow, has a whole nother bit of time passed? Wow. So it's been 45 minutes, so I've grabbed myself a pan and some parchment paper, and I'm going to get my dough back out. You got to knock the air out of it, because it's going to be a bit inflated. So sort of knock it out, and then you're going to cut it into 12 segments. See? 12 segments. I wasn't too precise about this, because I never am, but there you are. Kind of like little pizzas. So there's a piece of pizza. And we're going to make it into 12 more. Done. Then you're going to want to roll each one into a ball. A little ball. Try and get them relatively even in size and shape, but it's pretty tricky. And then you're going to put them to one side. Get your parchment paper and put the balls on. You want to put one in corners so that it weighs it down. And then you're going to, once again, cover it. And we're going to leave it to rise for 45 minutes to an hour. Now for the crosses. You're going to grab a tablespoonful of flour and just some water. This ain't hot water, don't worry. You're going to need to mix it to get the consistency you want. For me, I don't have a piping bag, so I've had to go for a runnier consistency and kind of cut crosses into the top. I then pour it in. If you got a piping bag, you just use that and use a thicker consistency. As you can see, mine's a little bit messy, but it's quite charming, I find. So there's 12 hot cross buns ready to go into the oven. I put them in for maybe about 20 minutes at about 200 degrees Celsius. Then what I did next is I got to make the glaze. So I cut my orange, which I've already used, in half, squeeze it all into a clean pan. Just keep squeezing. You got one orange worth of juice in there. And then what I did is I put it on a heat and just add a bit of sugar. There's a couple of tablespoons, not much, and just stir it on a relatively low heat and let it get all syrupy and kind of like a caramel almost. Then take your hot cross buns out, and then you can either spoon your glaze on top, or alternatively, if you have a pastry brush, either like a brush one or a silicone one, you can use that. Then you just cover them up and leave them for maybe 10 minutes to let the glaze set. Once it's cooled down and you can touch it, you cut them in half. If they're still hot, you just add a bit of butter and eat it, or you can toast it and then add the butter to make them even crispier. Nom, nom, nom. Wow, that's a good hot cross bun. I'm going to maybe eat the rest. Delicious. Well, thanks for watching. Have a lovely day and a really nice Easter weekend. Goodbye now.